Hello guys, welcome to this channel DevOps Now. Today we will going to discuss very important tools. It is a infrastructure as a code tools where you are going to create a whole infrastructures. You can set up infrastructures, by writing the codes, writing the scripts. Okay, and this is cloud agnostic where uh, it will going to support different cloud service providers. Okay, and yeah, this is today we will going to discuss from the scratch. Okay, from the scratch, this is a very important session. Okay, and whatever I will going to explain, it's a very from scratch, uh, so that we will going to work for further projects. There will be a total 25 projects, mini projects from the basic to the advanced level, where the use cases will be DevOps side and SRE role for the SRE roles. Okay, DevOps and SRE rules. So let's begin with from scratch, fundamental. Okay, as you know that Terraform have a different level, or it's a block, right? So here we will going to discuss a top level blocks that is used by the Terraform. Terraform generally use a blocks, a like a group of blocks create a Terraform structure, right? So what's the fundamental block? We will going to discuss the fundamental blocks, variable blocks, and reference block. So in the fundamental block we will see Terraform block, provider block, and resource block. And important thing, it is just a kind of a house construction or home constructions. Okay, from the foundation to finishing level, like that. You have to set up a script, write a code, design a structure from the foundation to the advance or to the finishing level. Okay, so what is Terraform block? We will going to see. So if you see here the Terraform, the Terraform block. Okay, I will going to copy paste here. Yes, so now this is the Terraform block. Okay, you can say that the required versions is a 1.5.0. okay, the provider. So these are the these blocks, these multiple blocks create one Terraform fundamental or foundation of the Terraform. Like, see, this is the one block, 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 this tags and resources one block. Okay, output one block. So this group of blocks create a Terraform script. Right, now you got right what is and how the blocks will going to be used, and this should be sequence wise. Okay, so that the flow will going to be execute easily. Now coming to the provider block. Okay, if you say a provider block, just like a a contractor. If you are hiring a contractor to create a home, so you are choosing the contractor, giving instructions to or hand over to the contractor to build this projects according to the blueprint, right? Same wise, like you are choosing AWS. I'm giving just one simple example. Okay, so in a contract example. Okay, so in the provider you can choose AWS, you can choose a cloud, Azure, you can choose GCP, right? and you informing to the contractor that this is my location. You have to just go, you have to just check and start the work over there, right? So see, the provider is AWS. The reason is mentioned like this. So what this mean? So you are referring that um, whatever the resources will going to be create, or the connection between you know to the cloud, okay, CLI to the cloud, okay, um, will be with the use of this provider, okay. This is the only way to create to connect your cloud environment to execute further uh, you know the task, okay. The provider is AWS. Now whatever the resources you will going to mention down below, everything will going to be create under the AWS cloud only, okay. And the let's say for example you gave instruction to the contractors, start the work on this particular location, and the materials, there is the materials, the building materials will going to be reach out to the site of this particular location, and the construction will going to be start, right? So same ways. Now coming to this provider blocks we discussed, okay, what is providers, and this is resource block. As we discussed that once the provider you mentioned, okay, you gave the instruction to the contractor, then the resource will going to be reach out to there, the materials and the instructions of what should be there, okay. And resources, if you take one more example, then what like the the data, or you can say that, let's say for example if you're creating a 2 BHK 3 BHK, you will going to instruct them like how many bathrooms will be there inside that house, what rooms will be going to create, okay. So that instruction you have to give, and this will be called a resource. You will going to mention everything in the resource. Let's say for example S3 bucket, okay. You will see the S3 bucket generally it's come under resources, a kind of a services where your state file will going to be stored, right? So let's say for example you created S3 bucket, you will create a virtual machines, okay. You will going to create a like a any type of services according to the requirement, okay. Virtual machines, VPCs and all, etc, okay. So these all are things comes under resources, and this comes under providers, and this comes under versions, okay. Once you set the versions, you have to set the providers, and then the resource will going to be create under this given parameters, right? Okay. Once we discuss the resources, what is the resources, and this if you see this fundamental block, this is comes in the sequence wise, right? So this we have that's why we have discussed, okay. It is fundamental block. Now comes to the variable block. It is like you can see that there is a 3 different blocks, variable blocks, like input variable blocks, output value blocks, and local value blocks, okay. So input variable blocks is nothing, it is just a kind of configurations, right? You have to create one var.tf file where all the customizations you're going to be do, right? And it should be reusable, okay. It should be reusable. So see, variable blocks, if you see, used for the input, output and local computed values. So input variables, if you see in the variable settings, you will going to as you mentioned that we will going to create one var.tf file and mention all this. Let's say for example I am just creating a vars.tf, right? So whatever there it is, this variables should be present over here. Okay, same wise you're going to create multiple variables for the EC2 machines, for a Docker, for a Kubernetes, for VPC, for Bedrock, whatever services you're going to use. So this is how this and this input variables will going to be use, it should be reusable. Okay, and let's say for example if you are going to create another bucket, just you have to change the name, or change the name, or if you want to change the name of the existing bucket, you can change here, and execute it will going to change the name in the AWS cloud provider or Azure cloud provider. Okay, so this is it, the input variables. Okay, now coming to the output variables or output values. Okay, output values is nothing like you can see they're used to display or share the information after deployment. So once you list down the entire thing, okay, entire the scripts, and now you are going to apply to execute to create a Terraform block, Terraform infrastructure in the cloud. Okay, the output the display the output of this it will going to show in a text format. Okay, like how many services I have created, what services created, it will going to show in the information point of view. Okay, and coming to the local block is nothing. Okay, it is just a internal calculation or combination. It will not going to reflect while you're going to execute. It will not going to execute this local values block. Okay, and it will not going to show to everyone as well. Okay, the person who working only, they can see their the code inside the local values. Okay. So now coming to the reference blocks, it's called a module block and data source block. What is module block? It's very interesting. Yeah, so it's generally used to reuse, reference, or importing existing resources. Module block is used to reuse another Terraform configurations like a subfolder or external repository. Let's say for example, if you, there is a already existing infrastructure is there. Okay, now again you have to set up the same infrastructure, but the thing is like it is very it will going to take a very time taking to execute the same infrastructure again, right? So you can use this module block. You can create a module in a folder, directory like level. Okay, and you can mention according to the requirement over there, and once you apply, everything will going to be set up, and whatever the resources is there, it will going to create. Okay, so module is a very important concept. Okay, and it should be a directory structure. Okay, so yeah, now coming to the data source model. So as you can see that used to fetch existing information from cloud account. Okay, generally whatever the resources you have created. So it will going to fetch the detailed information you know from the connected cloud or from the given cloud, like if I'm using AWS or if I'm using Azure cloud. So it will show you this script give a reference to fetching all the existing information from the cloud account. Okay, let's say for example I'm trying to fetching this particular machines. Okay, particular machines, let's say for example there is a 50 machines or 20 machines running on this particular project, right? So I will just mention the values of this value of the information of the machine and where it is stored in Amazon, and the parameter will be true. Okay, it will going to be fetch all the machines, if it is matches same with same configurations, right? So this is the data source module. Okay, and once you create everything, right, so it will look like this. Let me show you. Yes, so once you combine all the blocks, okay, inside the main.tf, it will show you like this. This is the Terraform version. Okay, the Terraform version, this is Terraform provider. It is very important. Version is very important, as you know that it will going to support the Terraform project. Okay, once you mention the latest versions or required versions, then you have to set the providers, like where you have to create. If I will going to execute the infrastructure, to create an infrastructure on a Azure cloud, then I will going to use Azure, and the location I will going to mention. Same like input variables, like the variables I will going to mention the bucket name. Okay, and the local values, as I mentioned, that you're not going to reflect everyone. So resource block will going to be create resources, virtual VMs, instances, the RD, like database. Okay, Postgres or S3 buckets, storage kind of things. Okay, the tags is the very important. Tags, you have to set up one block for the tags, so that it will going to give in additional informations. Okay, where those tags, it's just like a nicknames. Okay, just assume that it's a short nickname given, so that we can easily fetch. Okay, the output, as you know that like we will going to get detailed information once we will going to execute using a Terraform apply. Okay, so this is the fundamental we discussed, fundamental variable and the referencing block. Hope you understand. We are going to planning start a DevOps role and SRE role from the scratch to the advanced. We will going to set up the entire infrastructures on Azure cloud. Okay, and we will going to deploy our project, our application on that infrastructure as well, and we are planning to use pipelines. It might be like a Azure pipeline or GitHub Action pipeline. So this is it. In the next session we will going to start our implementation. We're going to write some codes and implement, and we will going to understand in a very detailed manner. Thank you.